Okay, let's talk about Heat. I just saw it. Heat came out in 1995. It's directed by Michael Mann and it stars Robert De Niro as Neil McCulley and Al Pacino as Lieutenant Vincent. Okay, and also stars Val Kilmer. Robert De Niro is a master criminal. Him and his specialized squad, they rob banks. And of course, Al Pacino is a cop, and he specializes in taking down these sorts of criminals. He's both of them are very good at what they do. Look, this movie is good. The movie is good, and what it's basically trying to portray is two sides. You have the criminals, you have the cops, and even though they are enemies, they still have a great deal of respect for each other, and that's what the movie is portraying. Even though they may not like each other, they still respect each other. Okay, and still, I find myself as I watched the movie, I kept saying, even though I like the characters, I find myself just seeing them as characters because the movie is so glamorized, it's so stylized, it's so beautiful that I feel very disconnected from it. It seems very Hollywood. You get what I mean? Even though it looks accurate, it just seems when you watch a movie and the characters feel relatable, they feel like you just get emotionally involved with them. That's not what Heat is. You just watch them and you say to yourself, "Oh, look, that character is doing this. This character is doing this," and you watch it and you enjoy the story. It's just the movie sort of lacks intimacy, which still it doesn't take away from the movie as I see it. And when you heard about this movie, you probably heard about two things: the shootout scene, because it's one of the greatest shootouts in all of movie history, and the cafe scene. The shootout scene is as good as they say, if not better. I mean, it's amazing. I remember watching the shootout scene, and I was just perpetually just blown away. Like, wow, like, I can't believe that they recorded something like this in the '90s, man. It was beautiful. I'm talking about it was beautiful. It was amazing. The cafe scene. Now, like I said, Robert De Niro is the criminal, master criminal. Al Pacino is the master cop. And while I find the cafe scene was very well acted, I don't see any basis for it taking place because what's happening is Al Pacino or Robert De Niro, he's riding around. Al Pacino is following him, right? He's the cop, and he just pulls him over, and he comes up to his car, and he's like, "There's a cafe down the street. You can meet me there." And Robert De Niro's like, "All right." And I'm thinking to myself, wait, why are you asking him to go to this cafe? And Robert De Niro, why did you choose to go there with him? Like, what's the basis for that? And they go to the cafe, and this is where you have the famous scene, extremely well acted. I will say that throughout this movie, Al Pacino was trying his best to win an Oscar. That man was acting. You could tell. And Robert De Niro was just doing his Robert De Niro thing, you know. But Al Pacino is acting in this movie. He acting. I'm talking about that man said, Oscar season is coming up. I need to lay it down. Every time he went in front of that camera, he was using all those facial expressions. It starts off. He's just 10 years at Nelson, 3 years in the hole. Is it as bad as they say? And Robert De Niro's like, "You looking to become a penologist?" And Al Pacino, that man is trying to outact Robert De Niro. He's acting throughout that whole scene. I'm talking about, he's like, "I have a dream. I keep having this dream. The families of all the victims, they stare at me and they have these bulging black eyes." And it'll go back to Robert De Niro. He's like, they say anything? He's like, "No, Like the man is acting. He was trying to win an Oscar, and you know they're basically playing this power game and it's going back and forth. And at one point, Al Pacino he ends up telling him, so we're sitting here in this cafe. And he basically threatens him like, I won't hesitate to take you down. And Robert De Niro, he returns back the threat. As a matter of fact, at one point during the sit down, he tells him, I do what I do best. I take down scores. And I'm thinking to myself, I understand that they both know. Well, I understand that Al Pacino knows that he robs banks, but why would he tell him that? You get what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, what if Al Pacino was wearing a wire? You get what I mean? Like, but you take down scores. I was wearing a wire the whole time, and just cops just burst in and arrest Robert De Niro. That it was a random thought, but still, the movie was good. I just want Al Pacino to know, I'm sorry you didn't win that Oscar. I know you was trying your best, but you did good, okay? You did good. Where this pause button at?